I never thought this would happen to me. One minute, I was walking home from school, earbuds in, minding my own business. The next, everything went black. When I woke up, I was in a dimly lit room with about 20 other people, each one looking more bewildered and scared than the last. The smell of dampness and decay filled the air, making it hard to breathe. A metallic voice crackled through hidden speakers, making us all jump. Welcome, participants. This is a game of survival. Only one of you will leave alive. Good luck. Panic set in immediately. We were in a large, abandoned warehouse, filled with a maze of makeshift walls, obstacles, and debris. Each of us was given a small weapon. Mine was a rusty knife. I looked around at the others. Some were crying, some were trying to find a place to hide, and a few were sizing up the competition with cold, calculating eyes. It was clear that some of these people were no strangers to violence. I recognized them. They were all killers. Jake, the butcher, Holloway, a burly man with a tattooed neck, wielding a meat cleaver. Lena, the spider. Vargas, a lithe woman known for her web of traps, holding a garrote wire. Marcus, the surgeon Kane, a former doctor with a scalpel collection. Fiona, the viper. Reese, a snake-like woman with poisoned darts. Owen the wolf Larson, a wild-eyed man with claw-like knives. Carla, the black widow Novak, a widow dressed in black, carrying a hatpin. Vincent, the reaper Cross, a tall, gaunt figure with a sickle. Erica, the banshee Mills, a woman with a blood-curdling scream, armed with a broken bottle. Tim, the cannibal Grimes, a heavy-set man with a butcher's knife. Dana, the huntress. Kelly, an athletic woman with a bow and arrows. Gareth, the strangler. Bloom, a man with massive hands and a length of rope. Nina, the siren Bell, a beautiful woman with a lethal syringe. Connor, the madman. Flynn, a disheveled man with a chainsaw. Harper, the Ripper Doyle, a scarred woman with a straight razor. Isaac, the beast Crow, a hulking brute with brass knuckles. Lydia, the phantom Greer, a ghostly woman with a silenced pistol. Ethan, the strangler Cole, a quiet man with a garrote. Rachel, the widowmaker Jones, a woman with a venomous snake. Max, the hammer Hayes, a man with a sledgehammer. Zara, the shadow. Monroe, a shadowy figure with throwing knives. The horn blared, signaling the start of the round. I darted to the nearest cover, my heart pounding so hard I could barely hear anything else. I crouched behind an old shipping crate, trying to steady my breathing. I heard footsteps approaching and peeked around the corner to see Jake, the butcher Holloway, wielding his meat cleaver with a sadistic grin. He was coming my way. My first instinct was to run, but I knew that would make noise and draw attention. Instead, I held my breath, gripping the knife so tightly my knuckles turned white. As he passed by, I sprang up and plunged the knife into his side. He gasped, more out of surprise than pain, and I felt a sickening jolt of guilt and terror. But I couldn't stop. I pulled the knife out and stabbed again, this time aiming for his chest. He fell, eyes wide with shock, and didn't move again. I stumbled back, horrified at what I'd done. But there was no time to think. The sound of a struggle nearby snapped me back to reality. I had to survive. I moved cautiously through the maze, every nerve on edge. I saw Marcus, the surgeon Kane, meticulously dismembering a body, his scalpel gleaming in the dim light. I shuddered and crept past him, hoping he wouldn't notice me. I found myself in a narrow corridor and came face to face with Lena, the spider Vargas, who was setting up a trap. She saw me and lunged, her garrote wire glinting menacingly. I ducked, barely avoiding her grasp, and slashed out with my knife. I managed to cut her arm, causing her to drop the wire. I kicked it away and ran, not wanting another kill on my conscience. As I navigated the labyrinth of the warehouse, I encountered more of the participants. Erica the Banshee Mills screamed, sending chills down my spine, but I managed to avoid her broken bottle. I saw Dana the Huntress, Kelly, take down Vincent the Reaper Cross with a well-placed arrow. The warehouse was a symphony of chaos and death, each clash more brutal than the last. Suddenly, the door to a small office burst open, and Isaac the Beast Crow barreled in. He had a look of utter rage and was wielding brass knuckles. I barely had time to react before he was on me. I dodged his first swing, but the second clipped my shoulder, sending a jolt of pain through my body. I slashed wildly with my knife, managing to cut his leg. He roared in pain and swung again. I ducked and lunged forward, driving my knife into his chest with all the strength I had left. He collapsed, dragging me down with him. I struggled to free myself from his grip, finally rolling away and standing on shaky legs. The horn blared again, signaling the end of the round. I was the only one left standing. The room was silent, except for my ragged breathing. I looked around at the carnage, at the bodies of people who, like me, had been dragged into this nightmare. I felt a surge of conflicting emotions: relief, horror, guilt. The metallic voice returned. "Congratulations, champion. You have survived." I stumbled out of the warehouse, into the blinding sunlight. The police found me soon after, but I couldn't tell them everything. How could I? How could they understand what it took to survive, what I had become? I had won, but at what cost?